Yeah, I mean, obviously Varus going through would be a big surprise. I mean, he was already pick or ban almost last patch, and then he actually got a pretty substantial buff, I would say, in this current patch. As we're playing on the live client here, we see the draft on your screen. First pick, Varus for SK. And now KCB will look for the response. Already Ryze and Orianna being taken out. A lot of mid focus in the ban phase.
Yeah, huge amount of mid and jungle focus with the Jace and the Malphite bans as well. Varus and Yunara, the trade. Varus does have good poke and was buffed on 26.2. So really, as an AD carry, if he's let through, you're kind of first picking him no matter what.
Yeah, I really wonder what the KC's plan is for this Varus, because you don't let Varus go like this unless you have an actual plan. And usually against Varus, you see two different options. Either you go for a big dive comp, because Varus doesn't have that much self-peel, has the Chains of Corruption, right? But once he gets went on, it is pretty hard for him to get out, and we already see KCB locking in the Jarvan, so I think that's an indication that's the direction they're going for, that heavy dive.
Yeah, you can look for things like the Jarvan, as you say. Could go for a Bard for Prime as well, because it's a low mobility carry, is that Varus. But because you've gone for the Yunara and the Jarvan, the Rumble is still available, and SK will be licking their lips with this draft so far. You get an AP top side, means that leader can go on an AD mid laner, so you don't have a full AP top side, and you're actually just in a really strong spot here for SK.
I mean, the Rumble not only being a power pick, also a deny from KCB. Tao had a great game on the Rumble the other day, and also together with Jarvan is one of that classic spicy hotpot combinations. The Jarvan Rumble, just lock them in the cage and burn them up. Yone, not surprising for leader. When I saw that Akali ban, I was thinking that we're probably gonna get something cheeky, because to see leader's team ban Akali makes some alarm signs go off in my mind, and I'm thinking, what are they aiming for? And the aim seems to be that Yone. Wonder if they're gonna look to pair it up with the Sejuani, which has historically been Yone's best pairing. Not really been super prevalent in Winter yet, but is a good matchup into the Jarvan, and we'll see if KCB wants to deny that in the ban phase.
Have you been seeing the Dusk and Dawn Sejuani top that's been making its way around?
Sadly, yeah, I have. I don't think it's that good, because the stats are a little bit wonky, and it's not like Sejuani is that good on hit. Sure, you get the E stack way faster, but in general, you have so much. You have the Q knockup, you have your W slow, you have your old CC. It's usually pretty easy to get the stun if you are close range.
Yeah,
you don't need more help.
Quicker.
A little bit
you can get it quicker, Finn. That's the vibe. Vi taken away by KCB, and they're thinking of the Sejuani too. No real surprises if they do decide to ban that. Aurora taken out by SK, meaning that the AP top side for KCB is a little bit trickier to find. Currently they have the Jarvan and the Aatrox locked in, so they do need an AP mid laner. And you can see SK really trying to pinch Kamiloo's pool there in that mid lane role.
It definitely feels like they're trying to take away these kind of skirmish heavy mid laners with Aurora ban. You don't want to have, because what we've seen in SK in this split already is that they put a lot of emphasis of fighting around leader.
Yeah.
And if you can, you don't want the enemy mid to have a skirmish heavy mid laner like a Nico, like an Aurora. They're really good in this 3v3s, a lot of burst, a lot of CC or utility in the case of Aurora. And now you see the Azir lock in, and I think SK is really happy with this. Yone historically has been a really good answer into Azir, and usually comes out when Azir first becomes prevalent. And I think this is exactly what they're looking for, and now I want to see them pair this up with a jungle that is willing to go and help leader, because you're putting all your eggs in his basket, and you better get some yolks.
Yeah, so things like that. Better get some yokes. Good one, Finn.
That was a good yoke.
It was a very good yoke. I like things like the Wukong and the Xin Shao do a very similar thing. You're talking about skirmishing junglers. They fit into that wheelhouse. Pantheon does it exceptionally well. Point and click CC on that. Shield Vault can just jump in, get the stun onto the Azir, get his flash out early, and then look for the repeat ganks towards mid. SK now looking for their support. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit of engage as well. Mikyx thrives on things like the Rel, like the Nautilus, the Alistar, all fit into his wheelhouse, and it seems like the cow is the way that they have decided to go.
It's as you say, and I think he's ready to prepare another Requiem for Jopa, the rookie AD carry, because I don't think he's going to get much love this game.
No.
I'm seeing already this SK comp. They have top push, they have bot push, and I think there's only one place where all those pushing lanes will collapse, and that will be in the mid lane. That will be the battlefield, and now KCB is responsible with Rakan, and I think that means they're also willing to take the fight there, because you can't just leave this Azir to get a repeat gank. You need to allow this Rakan, because it's not like the Yunara and the Rakan will have a strong 2v2 against Varus, so you kind of want to find your openings elsewhere. Aatrox will struggle a little bit into Rumble early, but he will eventually start being able to fight, so that could be an avenue that could be positive for KCB.
Yeah, a lot of focus around that mid lane for both teams. It seems, wouldn't be surprised if we see both the AD carries just popping their Qs, popping the wave, and kind of just standing away from each other down towards that bottom side. We do have a small delay before going on into the game. We're remaking the lobby due to a technical issue, so we'll get through that as soon as we can. Drafts will be the same with that, with the same bans as well. So we're not going to have anything change up as we remake that lobby. For both these teams currently sitting at 1 and 4 historically. Now, we haven't had a 12-team league before with 8 teams going through. Usually you're looking at 4 wins as kind of your benchmark to make it into that playoff spot. Today is one of those really big wins because you're not only taking a win for yourself and going to 2 and 4, you're also pushing someone that would be competing for that 8th spot down to 1 and 5.
Yeah, I mean, losing today for either of these teams would make that last ascent so much difficult. Being on top of the mountain is what you want, but like Sisyphus, the rock will kind of push them down if they lose today, and it's going to be a really hard bounce back from that because now you're going to have to win every single game, and you're going to go up against the likes like G2, MKOI, KC, they're top teams of our league, and taking this win is paramount if they will actually have aspirations to make this playoff run.
You need to do a lot of work to make yourself get into those top 8 spots. I will say, like, both teams don't have the hardest of roads left. Obviously, every game is hard when you're at the bottom of the table. Like, everyone is theoretically better than you. KCB, they do have G2 and Fnatic left, but then it's Heretic, Shifters, and GX, so none of those top 4 that you'd usually look towards. For SK on the other side, they've got Heretics, MKOI, which is going to be a very difficult match, GX, Lost Ratones, and Shifters. So both of the teams looking kind of at mostly middle of the pack battles left.
And it's, as you say, I think this day is even more important than because it's a great way to gain some momentum, to gain some confidence back, because when you go on stage week after week and you just keep losing on stage, suddenly you feel like you forget how to win League of Legends games. So getting those wins is so important for confidence. I think that's why teams are really swingy. They will go on like 5-game lose streaks, 5-game win streaks. It's way more common than you think to just fall into bad habits or good habits. So winning today is super important for momentum, and I really wonder what KCB is going to do about this Varus, because he does really seem like the most OP pick on the patch, and instead they banned out the Ryze and Aurelia, so they value denying leaders champion pool more than taking out the most OP champion. So I feel like they need to have a plan in mind, because if you ignore this Varus and just try to play a normal game, he will be a problem for you.
Yeah, we've had Varus 6 times so far in the LEC, and he's won 4 of those games. He's the most banned champ alongside Jace at 22 bans in total across all of the series we've had so far. So it is always going to be a challenge, and he gets pushed by himself. He has good damage. You're pairing him up with something like the Alistar that after getting past that level 1 does become a threat, and the ability to instantly poke someone out with a headbutt pulverize into a piercing arrow across the top makes it so hard to trade back onto them.
Yeah, I mean, he also kind of works like a band-aid for a team that's kind of struggling to do everything right, because he is such a power pick on his own. It fills some of those gaps that you need to do to play the game well, and this will now allow Mikyx to leave Jopa more. They will guarantee that bot lane push, even if they're not laning perfectly 2v2, and will make their game plan so much easier. And I think that is really important for a team that is struggling in the lower side of the bracket to just make things easier for themselves. Don't overcomplicate the game, because you're already struggling, you don't want to make it more difficult.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing comps that, you know, rely on the enemy team engaging on you, you disengaging. SK here have solid engage. You've got the Pantheon ult as well for side lane pressure whenever you need it. You've got ults to team up on top of that. For KCB, they have solid engage and good fight as well, right? We're looking at some of the SK lineup. It's like they're slightly better in skirmishes in terms of individual picks. For KC, if they can scale, if they get to a couple of items on this Azir and on this Yunara, they have Jarvan for the engage, got Rakan quickness follow-up. You've got an Aatrox who, when he pops the World Ender, is very difficult to kill if he's landing some of those Darkened Blades. So overall, if KCB can keep the game even going into the mid-game, I do really like their composition as well.
I do like it as well, and I like you bringing up the Aatrox, because what I was thinking about when I see Aatrox this game, as a big Aatrox player myself, I think it's super important that Tao manages to find flanks in these fights. If he goes from the front, he will just get stunned, Varus ulted, Alistar combo, and it will be really difficult for him to have a high impact. So later on in the game, we will focus on those flanks, because I think if he can't find a good flank, he will find a really big struggle in this game.
That he will. Let's get into the first game of day 3 of week 2 here in the LEC. Officially coming up to the halfway mark of LEC Versus, this inaugural tournament that we'll kick off everything with. KCB, one of the invitational teams joining us up with us. So we have a small overlay bug at the top of the screen there. We'll get that fixed for you as soon as possible. And we see Skeanz and Leader trying to step in, trying to get that Razorbeak ward off. Shouldn't be able to do it too easily. Mikyx flashing onto Kamiloo here. trying to get the damage down. Kamiloo eats a Comet Spear, but is able to walk away. Does still have the TP. Someone in the crowd sounded very sad about the fact that Kamiloo didn't die.
I mean, already you see the focus towards mid by SK. Yeah. It feels like everything will go here now. No TP on Azir. Let's see if they can actually make a plan to punish this. Keep in mind, Mikyx will be late towards bot, will not have the flash against the double range kinda. I can't Rakan as a range champion. He is technically, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. So it will probably be difficult for the Varus to get pushed now, knowing they are late. If we see here bot side, looks like they're trying to step up a little bit.
Prime's going to get the knock-up onto Jopa. No Gleaming Quill to start here from Prime. Doesn't need it because he knows that they do have a little bit more threat. Mikyx not having that flash. Went for Phase Rush Alistar, does still have the heal, and he's got the Hex Flash. So there's still a possibility of plays if Hazel and Prime overstep.
If you need even more reasons to believe that Jopa will be left alone, he's actually went for the first strike rune. He's not going for the lane pressure, he's not going for the Comet. He will just be farming, trying to get some gold with his arrows and just trying to scale up. And I can't say this more. I think Mikyx, he's leaving this lane ASAP.
Yeah, he'll get out of there as soon as possible. Gets a good double knock-up onto... Prime gets a good double knock-up onto Mikyx and Jopa. And did have someone on the bottom of the screen saying, oh, we've brought out the old overlay for the Unks. It's a very Unk-coded game, is this one. SK, one of the oldest teams in our league, average age of 24.5, whereas KC Blue, 20.4 with an average of 11 LEC games, brought up a lot by Kamiloo. Obviously, having played in the LEC before. SK, they have so many average games per player that we can't even get the decimal point in anymore. Yeah. 252 on average.
25 is old?
No, they're one of the older teams in the LEC. Man, like, I'm 10 years older than them, okay?
I feel like I'm now as well, yeah.
What are you, like 27?
I'm 26.
Oh, you're not? Oh, man,
I'm getting there, don't worry about it. Leader looks for the E here, looks for the aggressive trade. Usually when the enemy mid does not have teleport, taking aggressive trades is really good, because if you can take a really volatile trade, just base and TP back while he's stuck in lane, suddenly you have a huge HP advantage. So I want to see Leader keep playing this aggressively, as maybe Nick is looking for something here.
Using the trample early, he's going to get flag and drag, lands the pulverized knock-up, and with the Comet Spear coming in, there's so much damage onto Yukino, he oversteps and Skeanz. Very willing to pick up first blood. Hazel, the triple ward in the bush. As Hazel is forced to flash away. As Prime there, you're so happy because you ping once, you get 15 gold, yeah. Man. You're
15
overjoyed.
It's a little bit of a consolation prize there for the fight. I think Mikyx, once again, showing why he's so highly valued. You know, he just knows when it's a good time to fight. He really wants to get his river control, and he just walks up and dares them to go on him. He says, what's up, Jarvan? You want to combo in on me? Buffers the Jarvan knockup with his pulverize and sets up a super clean kill onto Yukino. Really well played by Mikyx there, and I really like this confidence that he's always showing, just taking up more space whenever he can.
Yukino trying to get back out on the map as quickly as possible. Tao getting pushed in early game here. Wunder, across the course of his career, has been very good at absorbing pressure and does exactly that. As with the wave crashing in, Tao just needs to catch this cannon. Wunder can step back in and get the push out once more. It looks like Skeanz actually got double crab, with Yukino deciding that he didn't want to stay around for this crab fight, instead going in and starting his second clear of his jungle.
Might have a top lane dive here. Rakan is already opening behind there. Skeanz wants to pressure this. Tao is very low and no teleport. It's not like he can base and drop this wave, so Skeanz taking a lot of space here, but Prime is here to counter.
Prime on his way. Infernal Chains looking for Skeanz, has to flash away. Prime going forward. Wunder flashing over. Flame Spitter gets 1-for-1 so far. Yukino forced to use his flash to escape the clutches of Skeanz, who continues to chase out Prime, who does have a flash of his own, will use it. Late flag attack in from Yukino. Kamiloo's here, but Yukino falls to a spear through his back. And now, in the end, Kamiloo should be able to secure the kill onto Skeanz. Mikyx looking for the knockback!
Mikyx!
Skeanz lives! By the skin of his teeth, he survives. And now SK 3-1 up at 5 minutes.
You think we were seeing Unks? This is SK! They're just taking so much space on the map. Really good laning by Wunder, sets up this dive here. As we look at it again, you see Skeanz, he sees Prime here, but look at Wunder's flash. He does not care about this. His flash is behind the Aatrox Q2 and tries to predict the Rakan as well, and it's an easy kill as we see again.
Flash, headbutt, pulverize as well. Kamiloo has a flash, but doesn't have the chance to use it. After Skeanz escapes on 16 HP, Mikyx returns to punish the Azir for staying around top.
Jopa looking like a child of divorce right now, just being stuck there alone, just looking at two people arguing, are they gonna dive him or not? I think Mikyx will be in time to defend him on this wave though. He will be fine, and once again, really nice roams by Mikyx. He's been so active on this map, not only setting up that first kill on the bot side, now roaming top as well on his Alistar. He's just everywhere.
Yeah, walks out, we'll see that Yukino's here. Uses the trample early, so he can get that stun. Headbutt away on Yukino. Keeps a couple of the Krugs. Those small Krugs actually holding a lot of the gold as Wunder tries to trade into Tau again. Infernal Shades doesn't get the pullback. The Scrap Shield movement speed is enough. And Tau with a Hex Drinker this early on.
You're basing on this wave, and you know there's a Pantheon that's going to hit level 6. Now you have to base, walk all the way back here to this wave that's already frozen here. And you know when you arrive, you don't have flash, and Pantheon suddenly is going to have that level 6 timer. Tau is in a really, really bad spot right now. He's going to lose so much. He's already 20 seconds behind, and he will just keep bleeding resources.
The only good thing for Tau is, if KCB watch the Mikyx interview, they know that SK want to stack the Drakes. Now, they did also say they wanted to play a slow early game, which hasn't really happened here, so maybe,
bunch of lies.
Maybe it's a little bit of deception from Mikyx. Playing a bit of, gamesmanship, sportsmanship, but Skeanz is going to start up that Drake, which, if KCB know it's happening, does give Tau a window to step a little bit further forward. He's about 28 CS down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Leader continues to force Kamiloo out. He does have that Emperor's Divide and teleport back up, so he can get back to this wave with a little bit more of a health bar. Mikyx's looking for a flank towards mid, though. Yeah,
and here you see the secret threat of the Fog of War. They actually didn't know where Pantheon was, if he was clearing or going up for a top lane get dive. So Jarvan actually paths all the way up to cover Aatrox here in case he's in danger. But meanwhile, Skeanz, he's just, okay, I'll just take the dragon for free then. Just like Mikyx said in the interview. Allowing yourself to have so many plays just because the threat of the Pantheon ult is there. And knowing your Aatrox has no flash, he cannot be left alone.
Power of getting ahead in the early game. Grand entrance from Prime after the Emperor's Divide out of Kamiloo. Leader able to snap back with that Soul Unbound and avoids really taking too much damage from that ultimate knock-up combo. Mikyx here to protect his mid. As you said, both the bot laners just being left to their own devices down on the bottom side of the map. Yukino was looking towards top. Didn't really manage to find anything onto Wunder. Now Mikyx stepping forward, Kamiloo flashes away, Leader Soul Unbound once again, they're diving onto Mikyx and the cow is turning into roast beef. Skeanz jumps back in, Fate Sealed, lands on two, Yukino with the Cataclysm, Leader able to flash away just in time. Hazel's here to try and back up his team, chasing out Skeanz, but once again on low HP, the Pantheon escapes.
That looked really sketchy for SK, Mikyx going in so deep, almost goes down for nothing, but then Skeanz and Leader actually manages to scrap it out and get one trade kill there. Hazel even rotated to this fight, so now he's actually going to drop some plates on bots, and Jopa gets a lot of free time as we'll watch this once again. Look at Mikyx walking up here, really wants to fight. And I think Leader is thinking the combo would connect, but now really good punish by Yukino. But I feel like here, maybe can you just get out? Or is the CC just too strong?
I think it's just good CC overall. You can see Rakan trying to battle dance out. Hazel going forward here, uses the cleanse. Jopa flashes in. Mikyx goes for it, but still with the piercing arrow. Jopa able to get the solo bolo. Mikyx not even getting an assist. Prime chunked away, down to 100 HP. And we talked about the difficulty with Hazel moving up was plates to Jopa, but now with Hazel coming back into the lane, Jopa sends him back to the fountain and is going to get another plate on top of it.
And KC just has so many open wounds right now, they can't possibly put the bandit on all of them. Bot lane is bleeding, top lane is bleeding, Leader has a lot of control, and it feels like no matter where SK go, something good will happen. Jopa being so strong, great flash over the Rakan W, finds that kill onto Hazel, and I really like to see the aggression. Kind of was Diablo-esque in the way he's playing, so far forward, knowing how strong the champion is. Once again highlighting why Varus is permaban, and why you probably won't see him very much more today, because this champion is bonkers right now.
Yeah, now has 1,000 gold lead, Yumu's complete. 46 stacks on the cull for Hazel, but that gold infusion is going to come very late. The grubs are available. Mikyx's actually pathing down towards the bottom side here. And it looks like Prime is about to reset. Doesn't yet have his level 6. Wonder if Mikyx is just going to try and get 6 off this wave and then run back up towards those grubs. Or whether they're saying, well, our top side's so far ahead, actually don't need our support to fight for the grubs. Infernal Chains from Tau. Wunder trying to dodge away from it. Dark and Blade into the world ender. Wunder overcharging Grand Starfall in, and Tau is baked alive by Wunder and by Skeanz. That's the threat, the side lane threat of the Pantheon.
I mean, it looks like Wunder is alone, but he has his little buddy there, Skeanz, to man drop on his face there if he needs to. And when they commit so deep there, it's just so easy for Skeanz to counter gank that and get a really nice kill. And you see, it feels like KCB can do nothing right now. It feels like no matter where they make a play, SK will respond.
SK doing a really good job of reading the map well. Wunder winning out on this top side with help from his friends. Now has 1,000 gold lead, almost 1.5k for himself. The grubs are available for SK, and when you're this far ahead, getting something like the grubs, although they are a lesser prize than they used to be does really help you with those wave pushes. Jopa already taking a few plates off this bot lane tower. With the grubs will take even more. Prime looking for Mikyx here, who does have the Unbreakable Will. Yukino's on his way across. Jopa stays around. Cataclysm flash away from Mikyx. Does use his own ultimate, so expending an extra summoner in the exchange.
And he's just cheeky, isn't he? He's just seeing what's up there.
I mean, that was greedy.
That was greedy.
Mikyx, he's always walked the line of greed and great play. That was super greedy. Jopa's backing, you know your jungler's on top side, and you're like, I'm just going to see if I can get a ward in this bush by the Gromp.
You never know, maybe he's not there. How would you know?
Because like, maybe he is, and then you have to burn your flash for no reason.
It's just flash, yes, Hexflash, right? I think he feels more freed up now anyway.
Oh, true. I mean, when you're 5k ahead at 11 minutes, I think your whole team feels a little bit of freedom.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the gold here. Every lane just doing so well. We said all the eggs was in the leader basket, but that's not really true anymore. I think there's eggs all over the floor, and they're just cracking skulls no matter where they go.
That was a graphic metaphor there, Finn. Eggs all over the floor with cracking skulls.
Oh, it's like SK's cracking skulls.
Yeah, I get. That was a good metaphor.
Okay.
I liked it. It was just graphic, you know.
Sorry.
No, there's nothing wrong with
please.
it.
I apologize for any horrid.
Wait, well, I mean, it's only like what is it? 5 p.m. Children could be watching.
Starting early, yeah.
Children could be watching.
It's Monday. They should be in school.
It's true, actually. Is school still in at 5 p.m. in Germany? I didn't go to school in Europe, so that's enough about us. Let's talk about the game again. I kind of distracted myself there for a second. Ocean Drake is up for SK. They're going to start it up. Jopa with this Yumu's, and Skeanz already with his Sundered Sky complete. Very happy just to kick this one off. Mikyx once again poking his nose where KCB don't want it to be, but it will be a second dragon over to SK. All the neutrals going in their favor so far.
Yeah, and what to do here if you're a KC? Because like, what place do you actually have to get something back into the game? What is your strengths right now? You have Azir and you have Yunara, two really strong backline carries if they get some gold. So you need to do everything to make sure Hazel and Kamiloo is slowly scaling up so you can get to a point in the late game where you can actually win a team fight, because that is where SK's team comp is falling off a little bit with the Yone and the Varus being kind of high execution. Something might go wrong there. So now we need to see KCB setting up a defensive vision line here. Not this deep, this is still SK's area. Yeah, back off. This is the vision line you need to get for, I'll write it on the minimap because the camera is drawing that. This vision line is super important because once the tier 1s go down, you need to be able to hold a few chokes as leaders.
Oh, just takes him out of 2v1. Emperor's Divide was too early there. Skeanz now on a rampage. First tower going down to SK in that bottom side. A 7,000 gold lead, and that first turret is going to be followed very rapidly by 2 more, it seems, as leader can take the mid. Meanwhile, on the top side, Wunder continues to push in, and Skeanz has looped his way around for a possible dive on Tau. Jopa TPing up towards that top lane as well to try and help the advance. Tau able to get the knockup, but Wunder flashes away, and Skeanz can tank the tower. With Jopa clearing out the wave, this turret shortly to fall. And SK accelerating the game exactly like their composition wants to.
I mean, I'm talking about vision times, but it doesn't seem, vision lines, it doesn't seem to matter. SK is playing so fast, taking every fight, and KCB disrespecting now 2 TPs coming in here.
Prime with the knockup, counter TP coming out from SK as Kamiloo's the first one to join, doesn't have that Emperor's Divide. Wunder here now, no equalizer on him. He's going to try and burn the bird. And Kamiloo might be a turkey soon as he could be done. Jopa able to get a kill in the 1v2. Kamiloo is cooked. Yukino forced to run away. Hazel comes in from the side, but it seems like it might be a little bit too late. Mikyx looking for the knock-up. Hazel with a good dodge to avoid that headbutt pulverized combination, but still, SK take the tower, take 2 kills, and get themselves out of harm's way.
I mean, SK is fighting finger-licking good here. Like, they're just so active. Their mechanics, the flash by Jopa is just so on point. Feels like there's no holes in their defense. Sure, Jopa was left alone there, but Wunder so fast on the teleport response, making sure it doesn't get picked off, doesn't give over that big shutdown, and making sure any momentum KCB is trying to build is in vain.
You can see KCB a bit of desperation in some of these plays. Like Prime looking for the knockup on Jopa, can't find it. Kamiloo comes in without ultimate. Yes, you've got a Cataclysm, but Jopa just wins the 1v2 on the top side, and Kamiloo doesn't really have a leg to stand on against Wunder.
I think Varus might be a bit problematic.
You think he might be strong?
Yeah, I think he might be a little bit strong, Medic. I'm not sure. I think this is doing a pretty good argument showing why Varus is our most banned champion, why he will not go through any more games today, and why every team is looking to first pick that when available.
Okay. I mean, I very much agree. just such a strong pick. Buffed
I
on
would be
the
surprised
patch
if
as
you
well.
didn't, actually.
What?
That would be wild if you didn't.
Oh, it would be really weird if it just doesn't get banned in every single game.
Varus is pretty bad,
Yeah, you know, just what does he do? He has poke, he has damage, he has CC on his ultimate, he has more poke. It's pretty hard to deal with. You can also go on a hit if you really want to.
If you really want to feel frisky with it, you can. So many options.
Rift Herald picked up for SK, as they can now look to try and break through these tier 2s. This is where KC might be able to find a defensive line. Like, there's more map for SK to work through, but KC can stand further back without too much risk of being flanked.
Yeah, I mean, there's one win condition here for KCB, and that is Mr. Mikyx. I mean, he does like to overextend his vision line a little bit, and I think if they can pick him up a few times, maybe you can start build a little bit of momentum, slow down the SK ascent. But if they let Mikyx do like this, just go and take vision wherever he wants, eventually KCB will get so choked out, they will not be able to see anything, and they will not have any agency in this game. So, as I said before, set up those vision lines back here. Really important. Don't let Mikyx walk past it, or you will be in danger. But it's so hard. How are you going to fight in the jungle against them? They're so ahead. They're up 9k gold at 16 minutes. This is unheard of, Medic.
It's a bit of a one-sided stomp so far. Leader stepping forward here. There's the quickness out of Prime. Yukino coming in with the flag and drag as well as Hazel dashes across the wall, and there's the shutdown. Grand Starfall. They might look for another as Skeanz using the Aegis Assault to try and tank up some of that damage. So that's a flash. Rift Herald was used on the bottom side, so SK will be able to get a tower out of this. Wunder tries to drive it away, but can't do so before that eye is popped by the Azir.
No license.
He had a license, it was just very quickly revoked.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And a whole legal battle then.
I mean,
it's a lot of
he's
work,
putting
yeah.
a car inside of car, isn't he? Like, Rumble's already inside Daisy.
It's like a carry-on, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. It's like those really rich people that have like a boat inside their boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's uncouth.
Uncouth. It's very uncouth.
Yeah. Next Drake is up in right about now. It would be the third of the game for SK. It's only a Chem Soul, so not as impactful as if they were able to pick up an Inferno or a Hex Tech or something, but still, Mickey said part of their plan was dragon stacking, and they've done a good job of that so far in this game, and it's also a way to keep the tempo up against KCB if they are beginning to step a little bit further back. You're like, okay, we'll take your jungle, we'll take the Drake, and eventually you have to fight us either for Soul or for an Elder.
Still, I mean, KCB doing exactly what they have to. They just need to pick off solo players on side. Leader doing a little bit of moves before here. Wunder is looking for the barbecue here on Tau.
On his way, Prime goes in. Mickey looking for the knockup. Will find it. Wunder with the equalizer. Did go wide earlier. Cataclysm out. Mickey's going to have to use that flash to escape. KCB collapsing well. Getting the summoner out of Mickey, but not much more overall.
Still, no flash on Pantheon and no flash on Alistar could prove to be a little bit annoying here for SK, because it is still easy to pick off these players if you have a numbers advantage with the Jarvan. That's why the Jarvan is such a good pick in general, because when someone doesn't have a dash, doesn't have a flash, it's suddenly super easy to just pick them off if they spoke a little bit too far forward.
Yeah, the problem for KCB is while they invested 5 players towards the top side, Jopa was able to get himself more gold, almost 2k ahead now on this Varus, and there's the Drake that we were talking about. SK keeping up the pace of this game as much as they can. Mickey keeping up the pace of being in the wrong position at the wrong time. Hazel coming in from the side, the flag and drag. Mickey does get the headbutt away, but eventually should fall here. They're trying to give the kill over to Hazel, and he will manage to secure that. It's a 2-item Yunara now with the Fiend Hunter Bolts and that Kraken Slayer. So he is getting to a point where he begins to become a very minor threat for SK. Not quite there yet.
What's the cow doing up there, man? It's
You can't control the cow, man. Cows go where they want.
Yeah, they're free roaming animals. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what Mickey was looking for. I mean, I know he was looking for vision, but it's a little bit overzealous. You're getting the dragon on the bot side, once again showing that Mickey, maybe you have to dial it back a little, okay? The game is still in SK's control very handedly.
Yeah, the problem is, if you shout at him, like, move, he just thinks you're saying hello. That's the problem, isn't it, you know? Like, move! Utterly ridiculous, that joke.
Yeah, I mean, checks out. That would definitely seem like a friendly greeting if I was
exactly.
a cow. I'm not a cow, so I can't speak for cows, but like if I was, I would probably enjoy that.
So would I. Skeanz and Mickey do look for Yukino. He's going to flag and drag out. TP's coming in. Blast going back. Skeanz knocked onto the backline here as he puts the Aegis Assault down. Dives now onto Kamiloo with a good equalizer down. Prime's going to have to flash chain interruption landing onto Tau. And Mickey goes in for another headbutt pole combo. SK find themselves a couple of kills. Prime died after flashing away across that wall. SK will take the tier 2 on the top side. A couple of pings coming out towards the Baron as well. It's only been up for 20 seconds, but SK has so much control over this game, they might just be able to start it up.
The Sandcastle is falling apart. Looks like it will be the Baron for SK here. Leader looking for something mid here. Jarvan ult will come down. Sure, get out, but you're going back in there, buddy.
TP coming back as Mikyx forced to try and defend his mid laner. The Baron begun by SK. Leader slowed up. Wunder turning around with a flame spitter. Yukino doesn't have smite right now and doesn't have a health bar either. Now they turn onto Hazel, who flashes away, but should be taken out in the end. A double for Wunder. Emperor's Divide only clipping onto Skeanz. Wunder gets a triple, almost the quadra. Kamiloo ticking down to the burn of the Liandries, but it's not quite enough. Jopa ignited by Tau. Should be able to fall here. The chain of corruption not enough to slow him, so Tau gets a big shot down, but has shut down himself in response.
This was almost 17 years old, Medic. Almost had it there, Tau, with the TP in. Still looks like, I mean, I don't really like what Leader was doing there on the mid wave. I feel like it was a little bit unnecessary. You're starting the Baron. I don't think that extra mid wave is that important, and it kind of just baits Mikyx to go in and die with him here. I'm not sure what he was trying to do.
It's good play from Yukino waiting out outside of vision, but yeah, Leader dashing forward with Mortal Steel was a bit greedy. It really was. And because like SK have already started the Baron, it's like, oh, well, at what point do we peel to try and defend? Wunder does a good job. Jopa also puts a good amount of damage down, but really you wanted just to be taking the Baron and slowly closing out the game from this point, rather than forcing a fight like this.
Yeah, really aggressive dash there by Hazel, jumping right into the Rumble barbecue. I mean, I think you saw that the play needs to happen here, and he needs to make something work, because the game was just falling apart, but here Tau tries to find the counterplay, but he did get a big shutdown though, so
yeah,
that's a
900
big
gold. Grand Shuffle coming in from Skeanz as they look for Hazel once again. No flash on that Yunara. Good grand entrance, but with the equalizer down, Hazel is popped. Prime and Kamiloo will be able to dash across the wall following one after the other. SK's gold lead almost at 10k, now does crest that mark, and
surely they get this Baron, right?
I mean, you'd think so. This time Yukino will have his smite though, which makes it a little bit trickier. Comes slightly more of a 50-50. Both those smites sitting at that 1,400 mark. There's no real vision in the pit right now. Any wards? Oh, you've got to pass that automation for Kamiloo, so he can pop that down. Try and get a bit of vision in the pit.
SK is holding this for sure. And I think this Baron is going to go down for sure. Yukino goes in, tries to find it, but doesn't really get it.
He can't find it, and there is the Fate Seal just to follow up. KCB, a valiant effort to try and get in there, but they lose 3 for it. Prime walking away wounded. Might be able to escape, although Mikyx hasn't really allowed anyone to get away. Prime, grand entrance is out. There's a possibility Mikyx there could have headbutt flashed or pulverized flashed and caught out Prime, but the dash away is enough. Mikyx wants to save his flash.
But when he gets caught out in enemy jungle,
exactly,
he needs to.
I mean, at this point, if he gets caught out in the enemy jungle, I think he survives, man. The guy's almost got his protoplasm harness and already has the bandle pipes.
Protoplasm harness.
Yeah.
That's a cool sounding item.
Great item on Alistar as well. Really nice when you're going and you're losing a...
What a move. If I was a cow, I would love this cast. Okay, you see here trying to find something. I mean, what else can you do as Jarvan? You need to try to get in there. You need to try to find this steal. But with an Alistar, with the Yone ult as well, being so good at denying space, just flipping everything towards the end of that cast, it's so difficult to walk through them. And now it will be soul point for SK. KCB trying to set up this crab to get a little bit of vision foothold here, but I think you're probably giving this it's just a Chemtech soul, and you still need, I think, 3 items on your Yunara and 3 items on your Azir. Once you get that point, you'll actually start to hurt a lot, but right now you need to slow down the game.
Hazel has been able to take over to those 3 items, but Kamiloo's still only sitting at 2.5 with the boots. Mikyx here in the middle of KCB, doesn't really care. The rest of the team's on his way to help defend. And Mikyx just getting the push forward here. Has that unbreakable will, and KCB's will perhaps a little bit broken in this game. Almost a 15k lead as KCB are picking up a little bit of a bounty from that top lane tower. The reset coming out from Kamiloo, who isn't going to invest the TP, instead just channels that full recall. Double inhibs now to SK. With a minute left on the Baron, they can decide, do we just go for the 5v5? It seems like that is the call.
You have to go now. You can't wait for it. Mikyx flashes
in, equalizer layered on top of it, and Kamiloo is dead before he can even cast a spell. In the midst of the Cataclysm, SK very happily just stand and deliver. Hazel, the last man standing for KCB, but not for much longer, I feel. SK have been unwilling to let them survive. In the end, he will get away. Grand Starfall.
Let him go!
Oh, Hazel actually could have finished his recall. Double TP coming out in the end. SK claim their 2nd win of LEC Versus.